Alright, hey guys, so today I'm going to be repairing my childhood Game Boy Advance SP. This is the one that I used, I don't know, 10 years ago or so. Played the ever-loving crap out of it, and I ended up stealing my sister's when this one broke. The left shoulder button is what's broken specifically. You'll see me point it out here in a moment. First thing I'll do is unscrew the panels that lead to the main board of the Game Boy. And you have to use a Y-bit screwdriver. I'm not sure if that's the exact name, but it's just I think they call it a security bit, something like that for Nintendo consoles. Essentially, it's just so kids don't take apart their consoles themselves, but you do have to buy a specific kit with them, but I think it was about 10 bucks or so for a kit with all of them. Like if you wanted to repair a Super Nintendo, game cartridges for battery replacements, stuff like that. It has all of them, and it's pretty cheap if you're looking to do something like this. And here I point out the wrong shoulder button because I'm stupid. I didn't realize it's flipped. It is the left shoulder button that I'm looking to replace, but it is flipped, so it should have been the one on the right currently. Ignore me forgetting that there are more screws. Alright, and here I'm detaching the ribbon cable. I believe it connects the display to the main board. You just have to unclip these two little black pieces on each side, and then that is the brightness button in the middle there. The rubber piece just fell off. Here I'm pulling out my soldering iron. I'll have to desolder the old switch, but it's 4 pins and shouldn't be too complicated. It's nothing like a chip or anything. Just 4 pins, and it is simple, but it ends up taking me a very long time to do this repair. For whatever reason, I don't know if it's tension or the solder being rough or what, but it did not want to let go of this, so I go at this for about 40 minutes. The footage you're seeing is about 20 times speed. Give or take. And there I'm using that blue and silver tube. So essentially what I'm trying to do is heat up the solder, and then you can suck it out with that. So you click down that plunger, and then you click the button, and it pulls out, and with it, it will suck up some solder. The chips that you see on the mat there are the remnants of that solder that gets pulled out. And apologies for the forehead cams throughout this video. I wasn't super familiar. This is my first time doing electronics repair or anything like that on video. So I gave it my best, but I definitely appear more than I'd like. I had to edit out a bunch of times where I completely enveloped the shot, but I think you guys can still get the picture decently accurately. And yes, I know I'm balding. Here I'm using a solder wick to try to get some of that out. Again, using that plunger tool. Here, I finally managed to get the initial bumper out of the circuit board. And it does snap apart here. There's a plastic piece and a metal piece, but that is purely the shoulder button. So I did not damage the actual board itself. It is a bit bent, but it's not considerably damaged. And that is the metal piece, metal half of that housing for the shoulder button. And I'm just going to clean it up with some 91% isopropyl alcohol before I try to attach the new shoulder button, just to clean up any residue or anything like that. Just don't want to cause any shorts. And here I'm showing off how the board even bent a little bit when I was working on it. I mean, it is a high heat tool, but it did bend a little bit there, as you can see. And again, it took a bit of work to get even the new one in. The holes are relatively empty. I mean, there's a little bit of solder, which is what I'm trying to heat up there. But I believe you have to press down on both sides of the shoulder button to get it in. I'm not entirely confident in that. I'm not a pro or anything. But after a while, I do manage to get it in. And I'm also trying to use that plunger tool to get the remaining solder out. Sorry for the beard cam. All right, I finally got it through those holes. So now I'm just soldering up the 4 pins that connect it to the main board. Again, I'm just going over the whole board with that 91% isopropyl. It just helps it clean it up, and I don't know, just want to take care of my sentimental Game Boy. Just clean it up here. And I just cleaned in the socket for the games, so that can definitely help with connectivity. And I love using toothbrushes for that. It tends to do a great job. I mean, they're meant for crevices and whatnot, so they work pretty well for electronics cleaning. Also, they're really cheap. You don't have to buy some fancy pants brush. And then here is the ribbon cable again. But because it doesn't really lock into anything when you put it in that slot, you kind of have to really finagle it. Luckily, I have these tweezer things that are great. But then once it's in, you have to push down on those little black clips on each side of the ribbon cable. And I would highly recommend having one of these little tweezer pieces that are amazing for like small work. They're even outside of electronics. They've come in handy dozens of times. Here, I'm going to drop out that little square piece in the shell of the case. It's going to be great, and I will use those handy tweezers to put it back in, because I'm kind of dumb. And while I was doing this, I realized that when I screwed these back in, one of the screws was longer than the others. I didn't know that. And so the one I screw in at the very bottom middle, that was too long, and it actually broke through the other side of the case. When I wipe down the rest of the system, you'll see me realize. I'm not sure why they do that. It's my childhood one. I've looked at it before, like tried to repair it. So one of the screws was even missing, if you caught on to that. I don't know where it went. I'm not really an expert in this stuff. I just wanted to try to repair it, and it is a simple repair. It just got some stupid to it. So just make sure you're not putting the long screw in that bottom hole, because that's what caused that little divot underneath the start and select buttons. Luckily, it's symmetrical at the very least, so it's not like super obvious. But yeah, unfortunately, that is a permanent mark. I'm not going to be able to get out. You see me here unscrewing that and putting it back into the proper, one of the side sockets. And here I'm testing Metroid Fusion, because when you click that left bumper, it lets you shoot diagonally. So that's what I'm testing for when I load up my save. As you can see, I am shooting diagonally, or I'm able to. And with that, the repair is complete. I mean, I didn't short anything. That's nice, especially after how much I blasted that board with heat. But there you go. Have a good one, fellers.